A world that's darker than outer space, more mysterious than a locked treasure chest, and filled with creatures and phenomena that are downright mind-blowing. Did you know that we've explored less of our oceans than we have the surface of the moon? I've gathered 50 of the craziest, most fascinating facts about the deep sea that are sure to make you gasp, laugh, and maybe even shiver. So stay till the end and let's dive in. The deep sea begins where sunlight says its final goodbye at about 200 meters below the surface. Down here, sunlight can no longer penetrate, leaving the waters pitch black. It's called the twilight zone, but don't expect sparkly vampires. Beyond this point, it's eternal night, and only the hardiest creatures dare to live here. Imagine living in constant darkness. No sunrises, no sunsets, just pure, unbroken blackness. How would you find your way around? The answer for most creatures is glow in the dark. The ocean holds about 97% of all the water on Earth. That's right, nearly all of our planet's water is in the ocean. The remaining 3% is found in glaciers, ice caps, underground reservoirs, and fresh bodies of water like rivers and lakes. This means that the ocean isn't just vast in depth, but also in its sheer volume. If you've ever wondered why Earth is called the blue planet, this is why. Those deep, salty waters dominate our world. The Mariana Trench. It is the deepest point on Earth, reaching nearly 11 kilometers down. If Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, were flipped upside down and placed inside the trench, its peak wouldn't even break the surface. And if you dropped a coin at the top of the trench, it would take over an hour to reach the bottom. What's even more astonishing? Life exists down here, thriving under conditions so extreme they'd crush most human-made objects. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the pressure is 1,000 times greater than at sea level. That's the equivalent of having 50 jumbo jets pressing down on you. Yet some fish and microbes call this place home. They're secret, flexible, jelly-like bodies that don't crumple under pressure. Scientists are still scratching their heads, wondering how anything could survive in conditions that would crush a submarine. Anglerfish. Anglerfish use a glowing fishing rod on their heads to catch prey in the dark. These deep-sea predators are the ultimate hunters of the abyss. Their light isn't just for show, it's a clever lure to attract unsuspecting prey. And their mouths? Huge, with teeth so sharp they look like they belong in a horror movie. Oh, and fun fact, the tiny males actually fuse to the females for life, becoming little more than sperm-producing attachments. Giant squid. Giant squid can grow up to 43 feet long and have eyes the size of dinner plates. For centuries, sailors told stories of massive sea monsters pulling ships into the depths, but they weren't just tall tales. The giant squid is very real and absolutely terrifying. Those enormous eyes are perfect for spotting prey or predators like sperm whales, their biggest enemy. Who needs fairy tales when real life is this wild? Zombie worms. Zombie worms feast on the bones of dead whales by secreting acid. No brains for these zombies, they're all about the bones. When a whale carcass sinks to the ocean floor, zombie worms move in, dissolving the bones to get to the tasty nutrients inside. It's a gruesome but genius way to recycle nature's leftovers. Their name might sound spooky, but their work is essential for cleaning up the deep sea. Brine pools. They are the underwater lakes that are so salty they can kill anything that enters them. Picture this, an underwater lake with its own shoreline, rippling surface, and deadly secret. Brine pools are like oceans within oceans, but they're filled with super salty water that's toxic to most life. If a fish swims in, it's game over. These surreal, shimmering pools are as beautiful as they are dangerous, like nature's version of a forbidden zone. Deep-sea vents. Deep-sea vents may hold the secrets to life on Earth and beyond. Hydrothermal vents are where life might have first begun on Earth billions of years ago. They're also one of the few places where life exists without sunlight, relying instead on chemical energy. Hydrothermal vents are underwater geysers that shoot scalding water hotter than 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine volcanic chimneys spewing mineral-rich, boiling water into the icy ocean depths. These hydrothermal vents create oasis-like ecosystems in the middle of the deep sea, where bacteria, giant tube worms, and unique shrimp thrive. What's mind-boggling? These creatures don't need sunlight. They get their energy from the chemicals in the water. It's like finding life on another planet right here on Earth. Since these vents support life without sunlight, Scientists think similar systems could exist on icy moons like Europa or Enceladus. Exploring them is like peeking into an alien ecosystem right here on Earth. Barrel-leaf fish. Barrel-leaf fish have transparent heads, letting them look through their own skulls. This isn't science fiction, it's real life. Barrel-leaf fish have fluid-filled, see-through heads that let them spot prey above while their body stays perfectly still. It's as if evolution handed them a built-in periscope. Can you imagine having a clear skull? That's one way to keep an eye on things. Over 90% of deep-sea creatures use bioluminescence to light up the dark. The deep sea is like a galaxy under the waves, with creatures producing their own light in dazzling displays. Whether it's to attract mates, scare off predators, or lure prey, bioluminescence is the ultimate multi-tool. From glowing jellyfish to flashlight fish, the deep ocean is nature's very own rave party. The blobfish. Blobfish, dubbed the world's ugliest animal, actually looks normal in its natural habitat. This poor guy gets a bad rap because when scientists bring it to the surface, the lack of pressure causes its body to sag into a gelatinous blob. But down in its high-pressure home, the blobfish is compact, streamlined, and well-adapted for life near the ocean floor. So next time you see a blobfish meme, remember, it's not ugly, it's misunderstood. Fangtooth fish. Fangtooth fish have teeth so big they can't close their mouths. If there were a competition for the scariest smile in the sea, the fangtooth fish would win hands down. Despite their terrifying appearance, they're actually quite small, about the size of a grapefruit. Those massive teeth are perfect for snagging prey in the dark, where every meal is a precious opportunity. Imagine running into one of these during a night swim. Yikes! Marine snow. Marine snow is a constant shower of organic material that feeds deep-sea creatures. No, it's not the frosty kind of snow. It's a steady drizzle of tiny bits of dead plants, animals, and poop that sinks from the surface. It may not sound appetizing, but for many deep-sea organisms, marine snow is the buffet that keeps them alive. It's a reminder that even in the darkest depths, nothing goes to waste in nature. Deep-sea corals grow slowly but can live for thousands of years. Unlike their tropical relatives, these corals don't need sunlight to thrive. Instead, they feast on drifting nutrients. Some deep-sea coral reefs are estimated to be over 4,000 years old, making them living time capsules of Earth's history. If only they could talk. Imagine the stories they tell about the ancient oceans. Dumbo octopus. The Dumbo octopus is the cutest deep-sea creature you'll ever see. With its big flapping fins that look like elephant ears, this octopus moves through the water with a gentle, whimsical grace. It's almost like it's flying under the sea. And despite living in some of the harshest environments on Earth, it has a calm, almost cartoon-like appearance that melts the hearts of anyone lucky enough to spot one. Greenland shark. The Greenland shark is the Methuselah of the ocean, living up to 400 years. This slow-moving predator cruises the Arctic waters at a leisurely pace, earning it the nickname sleeper shark. Scientists believe their extreme longevity is due to their slow metabolism and cold water habitat. Imagine meeting a shark that was alive during Shakespeare's time. Now that's a story worth hearing. The deepest living fish ever discovered thrives at depths of over 8,000 meters. The Mariana snailfish has adapted to live in the most crushing conditions imaginable. Its body is so soft that it would melt at shallower depths, but that jelly-like consistency is what allows it to survive. It's the ultimate deep-sea champion, proving that life can exist in even the harshest environments. Gulper eel. The gulper eel has a mouth that looks like something out of a cartoon. This bizarre creature's jaw is so oversized it can unhinge to swallow prey much larger than itself. When it's not eating, its mouth deflates like a balloon, making it look almost comically harmless. It's proof that the deep sea has a sense of humor when it comes to evolution. Whale falls create underwater feasts that can last for decades. When a whale dies and its body sinks to the ocean floor, it becomes a massive buffet for deep-sea creatures. First come the scavengers, like sharks and crabs, followed by bacteria, worms, and other bottom dwellers. A single whale fall can support an entire ecosystem for years. Nature's way of recycling on a grand scale. Deep sea sponges filter gallons of water daily and can live for thousands of years. These ancient organisms are like the janitors of the deep ocean, cleaning water and providing habitats for other creatures. Some sponges are so large you could fit inside them, though I wouldn't recommend it. And their long lifespan, a testament to how the slow and steady truly wins the race. The cookie-cutter shark bites perfect circles out of its prey. This tiny but fierce shark leaves its mark, literally, on whales, dolphins, and even submarines. Its razor-sharp teeth act like a hole punch, taking out small, cookie-shaped chunks of flesh. Its harmless-sounding name hides its true nature as one of the ocean's sneakiest predators. The ocean contains enough salt to cover the entire planet in a 500-foot layer. If you took all the salt dissolved in the ocean and spread it evenly across Earth's surface, it would create a crust as tall as a 40-story building. This salt comes from rocks on land, dissolved by rainwater and carried to the sea by rivers. The ocean truly is the world's largest salt shaker. The tripod fish perches on the ocean floor like a deep-sea scarecrow. Using long, bony fins as stilts, this fish stands still and waits for prey to drift by. It's the ultimate ambush predator, conserving energy in the resource-scarce deep sea. Picture a fish just chilling on the ocean floor, casually snagging snacks as they float by. It's oddly relatable. Sea cucumbers. Sea cucumbers breathe through their butts. Yes, you heard that right. These squishy ocean cleaners use their anuses to filter oxygen from the water. It might sound weird, but hey, whatever works. And these oddball creatures play a vital role in keeping the ocean floor healthy and nutrient-rich. Some sea cucumbers can eject their internal organs to scare off predators. When under attack, these squishy creatures have a bizarre defense mechanism. They spew out their guts. This not only distracts the predator, but also allows the sea cucumber to make a quick escape. Don't worry, they grow their organs back later. Nature truly is the ultimate problem solver. The giant isopod is the deep sea's answer to the pill bug, but way bigger. These creepy crawly critters can grow up to 16 inches long and survive for years without food. When they do eat, they gorge themselves, sometimes to the point where they can't even move. It's like Thanksgiving dinner every time they find a meal. Deep-sea currents are the ocean's hidden highways, driving global climate and ecosystems. These massive underwater rivers, like the thermohaline circulation, move heat, nutrients, and even dissolved gases around the globe. Without them, the planet's climate would be chaotic and life in the ocean would suffer. They're the invisible force that keeps our world in balance. Imagine highways you can't see, filled with everything life needs to survive. It's awe-inspiring. Some deep-sea starfish can regenerate entire arms, or even their entire body. Losing an arm isn't a big deal for these ocean acrobats. In fact, some species can grow back missing limbs, or even regenerate their entire body from a single fragment. It's like nature's version of a reset button. And while they may look delicate, these creatures are masters of survival. The vampire squid is a master of disguise, and it doesn't drink blood. Despite its spooky name, the vampire squid is more of a shy softie than a predator. When threatened, it turns its cloak-like arms inside out, revealing spiny protrusions that scare off predators. It's a brilliant trick that makes it look far more menacing than it really is. As for the blood-sucking rumors, pure myth. Sperm whales are deep-diving champions, holding their breath for up to 90 minutes. These incredible marine mammals can plunge more than 3,000 meters, 9,800 feet, into the ocean in search of giant squid. To do this, their bodies slow their heart rate and conserve oxygen. Imagine diving that deep without scuba gear. These whales are the ultimate free divers. Deep-sea clams and mussels form communities around methane seeps. These methane seeps, also known as cold seeps, release natural gases into the water, providing energy for unique ecosystems. Clams and mussels use symbiotic bacteria to turn these gases into food, forming thriving colonies in an otherwise barren landscape. It's like finding a tiny city in the middle of a desert. The deep-sea hatchetfish looks like it's wearing a metallic suit of armor. This fish's shiny, mirror-like scales help it blend into the sparse light that filters down from above. It's a clever form of camouflage that makes it nearly invisible to predators. Who knew fish could accessorize so well? Glass sponges are deep-sea architects, building reef-like structures out of silica. These ancient sponges create habitats for other marine life, forming delicate glass-like skeletons that can grow to impressive sizes. They're so unique that they've inspired new technologies in material science, proof that even the simplest organisms can have a massive impact. The giant siphonophore is a deep-sea marvel that can grow over 130 feet long. This creature might look like one giant organism, but it's actually a colony of specialized units working together as one. Think of it as a living, floating city where every citizen has a job. Some units catch food, others reproduce, and some provide propulsion. Teamwork really does make the dream work. Underwater volcanoes create new ocean floors every day. Deep-sea volcanic activity continuously adds new crust to the ocean floor. These underwater eruptions are responsible for forming some of the world's largest geological features, like the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It's like nature's construction site, constantly reshaping our planet. Pelican eels have a mouth that's larger than their entire body. This absurdly unique creature looks like it walked out of a cartoon. Its giant, expandable jaw allows it to swallow prey much larger than itself. When it's not feeding, its jaw deflates, making it look surprisingly sleek. Who needs a lunchbox when your mouth can carry everything? Sea spiders roam the deep sea with spindly legs that look eerily alien. These creepy crawlers are not true spiders, but their long, thin legs and slow movements make them look otherworldly. They even pump oxygen around their bodies through their legs. Nature really went all out with this one. Deep-sea amphipods can grow to the size of your hand. In most parts of the ocean, these tiny crustaceans are just a few millimeters long, but in the deep sea where there's less competition, they grow to enormous sizes. It's a phenomenon called gigantism, and it's both fascinating and slightly terrifying. Deep-sea sharks glow in the dark. Some species of deep-sea sharks, like the kitefin shark, use bioluminescence to blend in with the faint light from above, making them invisible to predators lurking below. They essentially create their own camouflage using glow-in-the-dark skin. Deep-sea jellyfish have tentacles that can reach over 100 feet long. The lion's mane jellyfish, found in deep, cold waters, has tentacles so long they could stretch across an entire football field. These massive tentacles help them catch prey, but they also create a living trap for smaller creatures that can't escape their sting. Some deep-sea fish create their own electricity to navigate and hunt. Electric rays in certain eels generate electric fields to find prey in the dark or defend themselves from predators. It's like having a built-in flashlight, compass, and taser all in one. The ocean's deepest trenches are filled with plastic waste. Even the most remote parts of the ocean aren't safe from pollution. Scientists have found plastic bags and microplastics in places like the Mariana Trench, proving that human impact reaches everywhere. It's a sobering reminder of why ocean conservation is so critical. The goblin shark is a living fossil with a face only a mother could love. This bizarre-looking shark has a long, protruding snout and jaws that shoot out to grab prey. It hasn't changed much in 125 million years, making it a true relic of the ancient seas. Deep-sea bacteria could help fight antibiotic resistance. Some bacteria living near hydrothermal vents produce compounds that could lead to new, life-saving antibiotics. The deep sea isn't just fascinating, it's potentially a treasure trove for modern medicine. The deep ocean absorbs most of the heat from global warming. Without the ocean acting as a heat sink, our planet would be much hotter. But this comes at a cost, as warming waters can disrupt delicate ecosystems and cause coral bleaching, even in the deep sea. Deep-sea crabs can farm bacteria on their claws. Some species of crabs wave their pincers near hydrothermal vents to encourage bacteria growth, which they later eat. It's a clever form of underwater gardening. Pyrosomes are glowing, tube-like colonies that drift through the deep sea. A pyrosome looks like one giant creature, but it's actually made up of thousands of tiny organisms working together. These drifting light tubes can grow to be several meters long and emit an ethereal glow. Sailors have even nicknamed them unicorns of the sea. If the deep sea were a fairy tale, pyrosomes would be the magical creatures lighting the way. The ocean floor is covered in hidden treasures like shipwrecks and lost cities. From the Titanic to ancient ruins like the lost city of Heracleion, the ocean is a time capsule of human history. Scientists estimate that over 3 million shipwrecks lie scattered across the ocean floor, each one a story frozen in time. The deep sea isn't just a place of natural wonders, it's also a treasure trove of human secrets. Deep-sea vents host tube worms that grow over 8 feet tall. These massive worms thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Without sunlight, they rely on symbiotic bacteria to convert chemicals from hydrothermal vents into energy. Their bright red plumes make them look like underwater flowers, but don't be fooled. They're hardy survivors of extreme conditions. The lanternfish is one of the most abundant vertebrates on the planet. These tiny bioluminescent fish might not look impressive individually, but they dominate the deep sea. They're so numerous that their nightly migrations to the surface form the largest movement of biomass on Earth. They're the unsung heroes of the ocean's food chain, feeding countless predators. Some deep-sea fish have antifreeze in their blood. In frigid waters near the poles, certain fish, like the Antarctic icefish, produce proteins that prevent their blood from freezing. These antifreeze proteins allow them to survive in temperatures that would kill most other organisms. Imagine your body adapting to create its own thermal gear. Deep-sea creatures are masters of slow living, some surviving for centuries. In the cold, dark depths, life moves at a glacial pace. Creatures like deep-sea clams and sharks grow slowly, age gracefully, and conserve energy, allowing them to live incredibly long lives. It's a survival strategy that we humans could probably learn from. The deep sea holds more mysteries than we've dreamed of solving. Despite all our advances in technology, over 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. Scientists discover new species, phenomena, and ecosystems every year, proving that the deep sea is a living treasure chest of knowledge. Who knows? The next breakthrough in medicine, climate science, or even energy might be hiding in the deep sea, waiting for someone to uncover it.